My name is Clement Chen, and I just moved to New York from Malaysia. My family is still in Malaysia. I have two younger brothers. The youngest has Down syndrome. My mom passed away a few years ago, but my dad is still around. I still remember when I first came out, it was to my mom, and it was a really funny experience because back then I didn't expect to come out at all until one fine Sunday morning. I was in the kitchen, my mom was cooking, and so it was that very moment that I decided to just come out right there and then, even though I had expected not to come out at all during my parents' lifetimes, which is kind of sordid. But so I did tell her. I was crying, I was sobbing. I told her that I was gay, and then her reaction was something that I didn't expect at all, because when I first sat down to her and I told her, I have something to tell you, and she looked really worried, and she said, what is it? And I told her that I think I'm attracted to guys. And then she responded with, oh my gosh, I thought you have like a serious illness like cancer or something, because my mom had cancer at that time, so she was really worried about our health. But so she, in her own way, she tried to understand what being gay means. She asked how gay people have sex one day when we're driving the car, and it was a really awkward conversation. And I just refused to let her know. I told her she can just look that up online if she ever wanted to find out. Moving to New York, to be honest, has been really difficult. It was a huge shift from where I lived in Malaysia. I was moving away from a circle of close-knit friends and a family whom I have been growing up with for the past 25 years. And leaving all of that behind just to start over in a new country was really tough. So it took me quite a few months to get used to living in New York. I was, I think, homesick and depressed, but Matt, my partner, he helped me somewhat to overcome some of those really trying times. And I think the most difficult part about moving to New York is just getting a job. I just sent out resumes and personalized cover letters to over maybe like 50 to almost 100 different jobs over the span of 1 year. So it took me that long, 1 year, before I finally found this job. And I don't think it's because of my lack of ability to do any of those tasks or those jobs, but I think it's because perhaps I have an Asian-sounding name, number one, and number two, perhaps it might also be because I'm a new immigrant. I can't help to think at the back of my head how my heritage, my culture, might basically bring me down in front of other qualified job applicants. I even considered, for instance, changing my last name to my husband's name, because my husband is white. So I figured maybe taking on a white name might be helpful in terms of just getting past that hurdle of getting a phone interview. Dejection from not receiving any response at all, or saying that, or not even qualified to proceed to the phone interview stage. That was really disheartening for me, and I think that's when I thought that perhaps some form of subtle racism is in play, because obviously while racism is disallowed by law when you're applying for a job, but really, who checks that, right? There's no way that a job applicant would know that they are not hired precisely because of their own race or sexual orientation. I think one thing that also struck me recently was also the fact that if there are Caucasian people who move to other countries, or other Asian countries or European countries, and work there, they're considered as expats, expatriates. But then if people like me, I'm Asian and I moved to the United States, I'm considered an immigrant, but I'm not an expat. So, that struck me recently, and struck me as something that's funny.